Hey everybody, welcome back to Anime Sekai Podcast. I am your host, Ichigo.
And I'm your other host, Mikan.
Welcome back, guys. Join us this week as we discuss best female protagonists in anime. Hey guys, what's up?
Hey guys.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us.
Woo-hoo.
So this week we actually received a episode recommendation from Anime Corner podcast. So please be sure to go and check them out. Anime Corner podcast. We will be sure to put their information in the description. But they gave us an episode and they said best female protagonists in anime.
Ooh.
Once again, thank you so much, Anime Corner Pod, for this week's recommendation. This is a really good idea. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it.
I love it. I love it. We're here to talk about women today.
Yes. The best ones, the ones that, carry on their shows. Now, for me, I pretty much chose best female protagonists of they are the main character of their story. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
about Mikan. I think you probably did
Mostly
the
the same
same
for me,
thing.
actually.
Yeah. So
I already know
I did
one
not.
one of yours.
Oh, you do?
I'm pretty sure if it's not on there, I'd be shocked.
Go ahead, guess.
We gotta give a shout out to Sailor Moon.
Yes, we do have to give a shout out to Sailor Moon,
Was she on your list?
but she was not in my. Okay. I'm a huge Sailor
What?
Moon fan. I know. I'm a huge Sailor Moon fan. And I was
What?
actually debating, going in my head, should she be in my top 5? Okay, so I'm going to give y'all my top 5. So,
No Sailor Moon. Okay.
yes, she technically is in my top,
Mm-hmm.
but
Oh,
she's
okay, she's
not
not
number
number 1.
1.
Okay, wait, who? Alright, who do you
I
have? Who do
will,
you have?
if
Let's hear
I,
it.
okay, if I'm going to give them all, I would say starting from number 5, it would actually have to be Sailor Moon. Okay, so she is still kind of in my
Okay, so
top
she's on the
5.
top. Okay.
She's
Okay.
still
Phew.
technically in my top 5, but I will say she does get bumped around a little bit. And the
I was about to be
reason
like, if she's not on there, I was like, I think we have to call the emergency or like some kind of somebody.
well, the
I'd be like
reason
911.
I give Sailor Moon top 5 for best female protagonist is just the way that her character grows throughout
Mhm.
all of the seasons. And I don't know how to explain it. I like the way that she cares for her friends, the way that she always picks herself back up, even though she's fallen, the way that you kind of see her give up on herself, give up on certain situations that she's in is very realistic, and it's something that we
Mhm.
go through, but her character for me is a symbol of always pick yourself back up. There's always a fight to be won, but that can be said about all of the female protagonists that I have on my list to some degree.
Mhm.
But the reason I would give her number 5 in my personal list is because Sailor Moon is a show where they're all female characters, right?
Yeah.
And although Sailor Moon is the main character, you get a little bit of something from each of the different types of female characters because they all have different personalities. They all go through something, but then they all support each other as well. And so
Mhm.
that's why I'm like, Sailor Moon definitely is in my top 5, but I don't want to leave out any of the other female characters as well.
Okay.
Because basically, I mean, yes, they are the supporting roles for Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon is the only one that goes through the most character development. But with these other characters, if it wasn't for Sailor Moon, you're only just seeing them as supporting female characters. And a lot of the episodes in the 90s anime, they have episodes where it is about Sailor Mars, for example. And so
Yeah,
Sailor
with the
Mars
other
has
girls.
something that she's going through, and she is the main character for that episode. And Usagi's character kind of plays a supporting role for that particular episode. So that's what I mean. Like, they all kind of have their own main character energy.
Mm.
So if I'm saying Sailor Moon, I would put her at number 5. I hate to say it, she might get bumped up as we're going through this, but
But for now, alright,
for
so
now
she's number
she's
5.
number 5. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What about you? Who do you have?
I don't really have them in order, that's the thing. I
Oh, okay.
don't have a particular order. Um, so I'm not gonna lie, um, when this topic was chosen, I was struggling because personally, I am, like, a shonen type person, and I just have never
Yeah.
really liked how a lot of female characters in general are written. I think a
Mhm.
lot of people can agree with me on that one, but simply because for the fact like, now it's starting to change, obviously, but if you think about the people who wrote all these stories besides probably, like, a lot of shoujo, like, which centers mostly around romance, a lot of
Mhm.
these characters were written by men, you know? So, these are women that were written in the eyes of men, for men most of the time, and I don't know, for me personally, they just never were that good. Either they were just bland or they were just annoying. So I did struggle. Um, I even to this day, I don't think I have like one character that I'm like, yes, I love her per se. But there are
Mm.
characters that I do appreciate with how well they were written. And one, well, studio I have to give a shout out to was personally like, even from back then, they were doing it really well. Ghibli, in my opinion, they
Yes.
have made, like, a lot of good female female-centered stories for one, but also female protagonists. Even back in the day, one of their first ones, Naoshka, like, I have to shout out to her because I love her, and back in the day, there was not really characters, in my opinion, at least from what I saw, like this. Like, she's a princess, you know, but also she was just flying, you know, doing her thing, just the toughest basically, like, one of the toughest, like, she was brave, she was wise, intelligent. She just
Mhm.
embodied all, like, the best characteristics you could think of, and she was so good at it. I was like,
Mhm.
"Yes!" I just love her. I just love her, and her little outfit with her little furry friend, you know? And the bugs, like, that that also I thought was ironic in a sense, because it's like a post-apocalyptic world, but, like, fighting bugs, like, you would have a girl fighting bugs, I love that. I love that for her.
Yeah.
I don't know, I always thought it was so interesting, I was like, "Wow, she's fighting bugs. Awesome."
And they
I mean,
look
there was,
like
like, a whole aspect of
roaches.
humans too. I know. Like, the pill bugs. God, those things look
Yes.
ugly. They were nasty.
I'm
They
not
were all
afraid of
so
bugs,
creepy.
but I'm not fighting no giant bug. If a bug is bigger than I am, I'm out.
Yeah. And then they had the little tentacles coming out.
Ugh.
Oh, and she's, like, singing on top. Dun, 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 dun. I was like, "Girl, no." It was cute and everything, but I was like, "Okay, this is wild." But yeah, no, I gotta like, that she was one of the probably the first characters that came to mind immediately, and I just love
Mm,
her. I just love her. And she's, like, one of the oldest ones on my like, list too. So, props to Ghibli because they did it right. I'm not gonna lie, they did a lot
yeah.
of things right.
Ghibli has a lot of strong female characters, which is the best part. Like,
Mhm.
all of their stories, with the exception of The Boy and the Heron, because I haven't seen that one yet. But all of their stories, they all have impeccable female characters.
Absolutely. I love it.
Yeah,
Who else
it's
do you have on your list?
it's great. Okay, so
Who's number 4?
number 4, people are gonna hate me for saying this, but just
Oh.
just hear me out, okay?
Oh, okay, okay.
Number 4, I would probably have to give to Sango from Inuyasha.
Huh? A what?
I have to give it to Sango from Inuyasha.
What?
I know. Technically, Kagome is the main female lead in Inuyasha. I know I said I had mostly, you know, female
I
characters.
mean,
It's their own show, but
Sango's
Sango
not
is my
bad, but
exception. Yeah.
I wow.
Which is weird because she is a supporting character. And I'm not saying this because I'm not fond of Kagome personally, but as
If you
a
put Kagome on there, I would be choking for real.
yeah, nah, sorry.
I'm
Kagome
kinda
didn't make
surprised though,
the
Sango? Oh,
cut.
interesting. I mean,
Sango.
but
The
still a little
reason
surprised.
the reason Sango made the cut is because despite literally losing every single thing, she does not once, and even if she does, it's short. She does not once wallow in self-pity. She gets up, she puts on her gear, and she goes to fight for revenge. Revenge for her family, revenge for her village, all the while protecting everybody else. And not once does she show her weak side. And I
Mm,
understand that Kagome is the lead. She's the one who brings everybody together. You know, she keeps everybody together. I get that. But Sango has gone through so much in her life that she really steps up and is like, okay, I'm here to fight. Oh, this village is being attacked? Oh, no, not on my watch.
mhm.
Where I feel like Kagome's character, yes, that is the case, but it only became the case after she learned how to use that bow and arrow. Sango was still kicking butt as a was she a demon slayer? Does that sound weird? I guess that's what they called him. I can't fully
Yeah.
remember. But like she was still like that was instilled in her through her family and through her village. Like, they took out the bad guys. So they didn't have
Mhm.
time to wallow in self-pity. They didn't have time to worry about, you know, "Oh, this person doesn't like me because he's hung up on somebody else." Now, there were times where she might have been in her feelings a little bit because of stuff that Miroku was doing, but that didn't stop her from fighting. And once again, this is a little bit of shade to Kagome. Just a little bit. Um, she wasn't constantly kidnapped
That's true.
and
That's
waiting on
true.
somebody to save her, okay? Like, even when Sango was quote unquote kidnapped, she still tried to find ways to fight herself out of them situations.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I am adding her to my list
Yeah.
mainly because of her fighting spirit. Homegirl, she kick butt. She's kicking butt, she's taking names, and she's not being upset about anything. Like she's gonna keep it moving.
Makes sense. I mean, out of all I wouldn't have chosen Inuyasha, like, in general, but, like, out of all of the female characters in there, yeah, not Kagome, I almost said I
Whew,
almost said Kagome. Ooh.
girl.
Not Kagome.
No.
But no, I agree. She's probably the best one out of all of the possible characters
Yeah, well, I was
from
thinking
Inuyasha.
of yeah, if I'm thinking of like top female characters, she kept Sango kept just gnawing at the back of my head, and I was like, you know
Mhm.
what? If I'm looking at this right, she is doing pretty well for herself, quite honestly.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I like it. I like it.
Who you've got next on your list?
The second one that came to mind, another Ghibli, but I have to say Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle. She is
Yes.
probably one of my favorite type of female characters because compared to a lot of fighting type female characters, she very much embodies that um, feminine resilience, but also just like she's not like the type of woman to go out there, fighting bad guys per se, but
Mhm.
she's so level-headed, she's strong. And at first, she starts reserved and insecure in the beginning of the film, but you just see her grow because it's always been inside of her, that tough, "Oh, I don't care what I look on the outside" type of thing, and it just, like, comes out more so, and I just love that about her, and I do feel like she's a heroine who's not like the typical heroine, and she just really exudes this beautiful feminine energy, and yet she's
Very mo
so strong, and I love
Yeah,
that.
very motherly energy
Mhm.
as well. She's very much like, I gotta take care of my family. And then she finds how she's like, okay, now I gotta help him.
Mhm.
And ends up kind of making a family of her own.
Yeah. And she stays like a good person throughout despite what everybody else did to her, said to her,
Mhm.
you know. She she continuously is like even if she turned into a granny, she's like, "You know what? This is my situation now. I got to deal with it." Like, wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
Oh yeah. The moment she turned into the granny version of herself, basically, she was
Mhm.
just like, I've got to stay calm while she tries to process her emotions.
Mhm.
And then she just kind of runs with it. She's like, okay, this is
Yeah.
my life now.
Yeah, and I just love how she even finds a positive in it because she's like, "Oh, your outfit and this hat, like, fits better now that you're a granny and whatnot," and I just love the little positive affirmations she's telling herself, and I'm just like, "Wow, that's
Mm,
resilience right there."
love it. Yeah, once again, Studio Ghibli has some of the best
They do.
female
Absolutely.
characters. Absolutely love them. So my next one, number 3, is a 2 for 1. And the reason it's a
Okay.
2 for 1 is because it's 2 people with the same
Oh,
name.
okay. Oh, I know who you're gonna say.
Nana.
Nana.
Both of them.
Mm, 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 mm. No,
I love this
that's such a good
show.
show. It really is.
This show portrays 2 women who basically move to a new area and ironically have the exact same name, but they are both pursuing their own dreams and goals in polar opposite ways. They're roommates, and one is very gothy. She's got a goal set in mind, so she's very strong-willed. She's very, "Imma do what it takes to make sure that my goals are met." And then the other one is, I don't wanna say she's in La La Land, but
A
she's
little
very
bit.
much like, she seems like the very sheltered Ojo-sama type,
Yeah.
and she's almost like at one point she wasn't willing to accept her roommate Nana because it
Mm.
was the polar opposite of things that she had learned.
Mhm.
And although their personalities are polar opposites, they learn to accept each other's differences and in turn support each other fully and wholeheartedly
Mhm.
and basically embody that of like true best friends.
Yeah.
They say that in every best friendship, you've got people who have 2 polar opposite personalities come together, quote unquote, the nice one and the mean one, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
always say the nice one and the mean one in your friend group, they're the 2 that are the best friends because you know they're gonna stick up for each other.
Yeah.
And that's basically what the show embodies for me because I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's right." And if I'm thinking of, like, me and you, I'm like, who's the mean one and who's the nice one?" If that were the case, so I'm like, both of us are kinda nice, but both of us have
Oh,
our
no,
mean
I would definitely be
tendencies.
that's true, but I feel like I would be the mean one.
I can see that because you got the one friend who just wants to be nice to everybody and just wants everybody to get along, and then the other friend who's like, "I see through the BS." You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
it's actually just
I
great.
think it depends on the situation also.
Yeah, that's true
Yeah.
too. It depends on the situation. Yeah. But that's another reason why I chose this, is just they definitely embody the perfect pair of 2 different people who become the best of friends.
I like that. I like that. I do know I feel like I believe they were also I remember back in the day too, they were that story itself was raved to be sort of like a really good encapsulation of different types of female energy, and I do
Mhm,
agree. I feel like they just have very what is it? Complex characters and
mhm,
complex storylines, that I was honestly kind of found fascinating to have in, manga at the time, but
mm.
honestly, it's such a good story, really good story.
It's a beautiful story. Please
It
remake it,
is.
somebody. Oh my
Somebody,
gosh.
yes. Follow through the whole manga because, oh my god, it's heartbreaking, it's good, it's oh So many things.
Manga's done, I
It's
think,
true.
so just somebody pick it up, please.
Finish it. But actually, my next one is almost like the opposite. Well,
Oh,
not
no.
the opposite, but I don't think you would have ever guessed this one. And I thought about it and I thought about like what story with mostly just a female cast. Actually, it's almost entirely a female cast. Was I able to get through that I actually really love? And I have to say it's it's a Mahou Shoujo one. Fuera Magi Madoka Magica.
As soon as you said my whole shoujo, I was like, "She done added Madocone." It's
Yes.
lit.
On I hate like, I think Ichigo knows. I am not one of these people who watches, like,
Nope.
mahou shoujo types. I do not like it. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't like a lot of shows with just females in it, like, women mostly,
No,
because I
she
don't know,
don't.
it just I don't. But this show truly changed the way I see, like, mahou shoujo. I mean, granted, it is darker in a lot of ways, but my god, it was so good, and I actually liked most of the characters, and they're middle schoolers, and I was like, "Wow, the characters are so complex. The story is well done." Oh my gosh. So good. So good. So sad too, but so
I
good.
was about to say that story is also very dark for my
It's
whole
very dark.
shoujo, so
Probably
that's
why I like it.
probably why you like it. Yeah.
No, it's definitely why I like it.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely why I like it.
Y'all, the
But it's
day
so
that
good.
the day that I get Mikan to watch my whole shoujo that's like not dark like Sailor Moon is the day that I will watch Attack on Titan.
I will watch it. I
'Cause
could definitely watch Sailor Moon, I think. Like, full on.
we shall see.
But if I watch it, you have to watch Attack on Titan.
I look, okay.
You said it.
I did say
You said it.
it.
You heard
I
it here,
did say
guys.
it.
If I watch Sailor Moon, she's gonna finish Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish Attack on Titan.
Yay,
We shall
yay.
see.
One day, one of these days, we're doing it.
But Madoka is definitely a surprise for me for your
It
list,
is.
but I can see it.
Yeah,
I see where you are going with it. I see what you mean by it.
it's good. It's
A little
good.
bit.
Surprisingly good. A little bit.
A little bit, just a little bit.
What's
So,
your next one?
for me, coming in at number 2, and man, this was an easy number 2.
Oh.
Yep, Violet Evergarden.
Oh. I can see
Once
that.
again, it kind of like with the exclusion of Nana, but with Sango and Sailor Moon, this character so beautifully done. Her character development is just I mean, I'm speechless with how beautiful her character development was done. You have this young woman who is basically gone through so much,
Mhm.
comes out, finds love. Spoiler, she finds love. She thinks her love has basically sacrificed himself so that she can live. And now she's trying to find her true purpose in life. And she goes through so many hardships because of her mindset. She is stuck in this mindset thinking that she was only put on this earth to be a weapon of war, a weapon of destruction. And so once the war is over and she's basically been dismissed, she doesn't know what to do with her life. And the way that they did Violet Evergarden was just so amazingly beautiful, very well
Very done.
paced, especially in the end, like the very final movie, just for her to find that love of her life again. It is beautifully written,
Mhm.
beautifully
It's done
paced,
really well. Really well.
and the strength that she ends up finding. It's not one of those shows where she just stays down on herself all the time. She really is trying to put in the effort to understand the people around her.
It's done really well.
I love it. But yeah, she's definitely at number 2.
I
So,
absolutely agree. It's a really good, like, a growth, a story about basically a young woman experiencing life and
mhm.
growing through all of her experiences. It's really, really beautifully done. Highly recommend.
Yes. 100%.
Actually, my next one I feel like might also surprise you. This
Oh,
one,
no.
not a bad one. This one actually kind of came out of nowhere, but I was thinking because I feel like I had to include um because I'm not gonna lie, I don't like a lot of female protagonists in shonen in general.
Mhm,
So I was thinking about like all the romance shows that I like, the shoujo shows. And one that stuck out immediately for me was what is it? Tonari no Kaibutsu, which is I think My Little
totally.
Monster.
Yes!
Yes, a
Wait.
lot of shoujo type anime, I don't like their female protagonists because 'cause they're either shy, quiet, or they're a little bit more, like, cutesy, but I just love her. She's a good like, I love her, like, she knows what she wants
She
and just
feisty
is like
too.
yes. She's feisty, and I love it. She's like, "Let me do my thing," like, "Get out of my way," kinda thing, and I just love it. Oh. So this is the type I need more stories like this when it comes to romance, because a lot of them are very like, cute or, sweet, where the girl's like in love, I'm like, where are my feisty female characters that are like, no. They fall in love, but they're like still like, no, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna study. She's like obsessed with studying and I just love it.
What is her name? She's a good
Shizuku. Hmm.
yes, there we go. I was trying to remember her name. I love her. She's basically like, "I ain't got time for your feelings. I
Yes.
ain't got time for romance. That like we not playing this game."
And I just love how she's like, she does start to like develop feelings for him, and she's just like, "What is this?" But at the same time, she's like, "Ew," you know, like,
Yeah.
no, and I just love that.
There's a lot of anime that's out there like that, that I've seen that are shoujo, that are pretty good, where the female character is not your typical, like, quiet, shy, cutesy
Mhm.
character. There's quite a few of them that are very,
You need to
very
recommend me some
feisty.
feisty, but sometimes a lot of times they come out as annoying. That's the thing, because there are a lot
Mm,
of feisty ones, but I feel like they're just a little like borderline annoying.
I see.
That's why I feel like she's done well enough where she's subtle enough, but she's also got that little sass to her.
Mhm. Oh, I like that choice. I like that. I didn't take you for watching that show, so I'm actually a little shocked that
Really?
you even watched
No,
it.
I've actually seen a lot of shoujo girl, especially the classic ones. I've seen a
Mhm.
lot of them, or I've read a lot of them too. I read a lot of their manga back in the day. Shoujo
Hmm.
manga.
I'll give you that one. I'm
Mhm. I know that
shocked,
came as
but
a little you were probably, like, shocked about that one.
yeah, I really was. I'm sitting here like, "She saw that?" Very much so, like, "Dang, she's seen that show? Oh, okay, okay, alright, well,
I've seen major shoujos, most of them.
Okay, so my last pick for this episode, I think you will 100% agree with me, and that is Yona
Mhm.
from Yona of the Dawn.
Okay, okay, I can see that.
She is my
She
n
wouldn't be on my list, actually.
What?
Yeah, she's like a what is it? What's that called when it's she's, like, up there, but the thing is, she also annoyed me a lot,
Uh,
and that's why I just didn't 100% like her because she annoyed me. Yes,
oh,
basically.
man. No, she was definitely on my top. The reason I am putting her at number 1 is,
Mhm.
once again, you have this female character who's gone through so much,
Yeah.
um, and is doing what she can in order to get out of either 1, the situation that she's in, or get out of the emotional turmoil that she's going through. And with Yona, she very much went from pampered princess, I don't know anything that's going on in the outside world. I don't need to know anything that's going on in the outside world as long as I can get what I want in the palace, to, how do I explain this? I'll say starting out warrior.
Yeah.
Obviously, they ain't finished the show. That's my number one beef with Katsuki no
Mhm.
Yona. But the way that they did her character development throughout the show, she could have easily went one of two ways in that show. She could have very quickly surrendered, lost her life, boom, show's over. Or she could have been very selfish while trying to go on a journey to find these people in order to get her throne back.
Mhm.
You know, she every single person that she met, all the guys that she met, she could have easily been like, "Look, you gonna help me? You ain't got no choice. I'm the princess. You have to do what I say." She could have very much been in that mentality the whole time,
Yeah.
but she wasn't. Now, personally, to some degree, would have loved to see, once she gets in that warrior fighter mentality, she could have easily switched her personality and been revenge focused,
Mhm, mhm.
to the point where she's like, "Look, we gonna do what we can to take out Suwon and get my kingdom back." But
Yeah.
she didn't. At least at the very end of the first season, what we've seen so far, I have a feeling if they ever decide to pick this anime back up and continue the anime, I have a
I
feeling
hope they
that
do.
it's gonna go one of two ways. Eventually, she's gonna make it back onto her throne to take over the kingdom, or she's going to be like, "Look, Suwon can have the kingdom. I'm just gonna try and fix what I can out here on my own, without
Mhm.
being a princess, without any titles or anything like that. I've got these guys that's gonna help me. We're just gonna do it on our own." I have a feeling
Yeah.
that the show might lean more towards that way, but I personally want to see the revenge aspect on Suon. I hate to say it, but actually, no, I don't hate to say it. I personally want to see her go back and kick Suon off of that throne.
Yeah.
But her character development was definitely like, you could see the fire in her eyes. And once they
Yes.
showed that fire in her eyes, it was like, boom, game over. Y'all
Yeah.
better watch out
I
now.
I I do feel like I do like the like, as she's growing, like, that fire just burning in her. I do love that.
Mhm. I love
I agree.
it.
For the most part. She did annoy me, particularly in the beginning, and in the manga, she does get a lot better. But I feel like the anime so far, it's not quite yet. Like, what they had for the anime, it's not quite where I like her yet. So if they have
Mm.
another season, yes, I am on board 100% with her, hopefully. But I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do another season because I don't think the manga's over yet. I think it's ending this year. I'm not sure actually, but I don't think the manga's even finished yet from what I remember.
I mean, quite honestly, at this point, if they wait for the manga to finish, they're
Oh, no,
gonna
they're
have
not
to
gonna wait.
revamp the whole show.
Yeah. No, I don't think they're gonna wait. I don't know, actually. I don't even know if they would do a second season. I hope they do. Or they would probably just, yeah, revamp, like, redo it because it's pretty old already. Hopefully. A lot of these great animes, they need, like, second seasons. Please, guys. Anybody out there, please.
Right?
Mhm.
Ugh, who you telling? I'm still
Yeah.
waiting for a lot of anime's second or third season. At this point,
Yeah.
I'm just like, well,
We shall find out. We shall
I
see.
guess
Maybe
it
when we're
is what
older.
it is.
Yeah. But my last one, well, I'm going back to Ghibli because I feel like this character, I have never related to a character more now than I do as an adult. And
Okay.
as I grow older, I feel like I just relate to her more and more.
Mhm.
And that is San from Princess Momonoke.
I knew it. I knew it.
Honestly, her hatred for humans, like, Yes, 100%, girl. I am behind you 1,000,000,000,000%. I feel you. Every day as I get older, I'm like, I hate humanity. I really relate to her. And I'm just waiting over here for some boy to show up and be like, "No, we're not all too bad." But I have yet to meet that person. So,
I
I still
mean,
hate everybody. I
I don't
still
even
hate
know what to
everybody.
say to that. Like,
I mean, it's true. It's true.
the fact that you're like, I'm just waiting for a guy to tell me we're not all like that.
Or
Like,
anybody. Yeah. And honestly, for anybody.
my goodness.
Still waiting.
But
Probably wait till the day I die. It's not gonna happen.
I knew she was going to be on your list some way, somehow.
Mhm.
I'm surprised you didn't say her first, but I knew she was going to be on your list some way, somehow.
Uh,
Oh my gosh. No, I
she's
actually
probably the
like
one I
her
relate
character.
to. Yeah, because she's probably
Yeah.
the one I relate to now the most. Like, the others are like, I would like to be like them. Sun is more like, I feel you. That's how I feel right now at this time, at this age. That's how I feel.
I feel you, girl. Yes.
Mhm. Mhm.
I love it.
But yeah,
Oh my
no, there's a lot of good
gosh.
female characters. Actually, one I
There
haven't
are.
seen that everyone has always told me about is Claymore.
I don't think I've seen that one
I know. Everyone has told me you have to
anymore.
watch it. I still have not. It's pretty old now. I think the character is usually on everyone's like top female protagonist list. So
Hmm.
one day we'll check it out.
Yeah, it sounds familiar, but I don't think I've seen it.
I think if I
Um,
show you an image, you'll probably be like, "Oh, I think I've seen that around
yeah, probably. Yeah. There's
or
just
something."
so many. I know recently who I've added to my list, just not necessarily in a particular order like I did today, is like Mao Mao from the Apothecary Diaries.
Oh,
Mhm. Um, Kugisaki from JJK.
that's actually a good one.
She's just great, okay? I
Mhm.
don't like the way Mahito did her, but you know what?
Honestly, did her dirty. Did her dirty
Straight up. It's another reason Mahito is on my not
on
so
your
high
list.
list,
Yeah.
okay? Um, and just definitely some other characters, but I will say there are actually quite a lot of really great female protagonists out there,
I wish there was more.
and I would love to see more like the female characters in JJK, where they're not
Mhm.
necessarily focusing on like their quote unquote sexuality for shonen type animes. I want to
Oh,
see more
yes.
characters like the
Please.
females in JJK because I felt like
Please.
they have their own sense of personality outside of just being the cute girl or being the
Yes.
extra
The
female character,
yeah.
you know? So I would like to see more of that. But overall, guys, let us know, what did you think of our top anime protagonists? Do you have any that you yourself feel like you relate to? Let us know. We truly appreciate this week's episode idea from, once again, the Anime Corner podcast. Thank you so much for
Thank
this week's
you.
topic. We truly appreciate it. If you guys do have any topics or any ideas that you want us to discuss, let us know. We do have it pinned on our Instagram page, and I think we'll have it pinned on our TikTok as well.
Yeah.
So that way you guys can just leave us comments. Once again, thank you guys so much for joining us this week. We truly appreciate it. And we will catch you guys next week for another brand new episode. Be sure to follow us on our socials at Anime Sekai Podcast as well. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
See you next week.